Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 360 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing TKOG. Today I'm going to be showcasing you guys such a fun and cool deck, and it's so cute. It's Tri-Brigade Melffy, dude. It's personally my favorite variant of Tri-Brigade. There's too many ways to play Tri-Brigade, literally too many ways. Any deck that's Beast, Warriors, etc. You could literally play Black Wings. I mean, you could play any of the tri-types, and naturally they do kind of enhance a lot of those archetypes, especially when they don't need their normal summons. They insulate a lot of plays, but like as a deck themselves standalone, they're not that consistent and they really don't play through a lot. But like when you incorporate like these cards, I think the deck gets a lot more gas in this tank, and its inboards get extremely out of hand. Like literally just the Melffy engine alone, like minimal, gets you like 3 to 4 extra disruptions to your inboard. A minimum of like 3, and most of the time it is 4. Like if you open especially Obedience School, like getting like a bounce, 2 pops, and then like a flat out like negation and crazy follow up, and being able to like search your engine as you're playing on your opponent's turn, because like these are both beasts and you can search them or recur them. It's pretty ridiculous, and the level extension like you get just off of like Joyous alone is insane. Like how Joyous can like just constantly tag out and keep getting you back Karaz and Kit over and over, or either one of them plus other Melffys, and just constantly be able to infinitely pop cards is just ridiculously good. Like the inboard like Revolt's already like a really cracked card and giving you follow up, but like you get pretty much 2 Revolts. Like you get a Revolt off Joyous and you get a Revolt off Revolt, and you like still have like your typical Appaloosa double Dragon Lords, like Revolt into the king of all, like the king of all Tri-Brigades, freaking ominous. The newer cards are like really good, and I did predicate like some of my card choices in text to be able to actually summon this guy, because like you need 3 Tri-Brigade spells or traps minimum in your graveyard, and Revolt's the only one that's typically played. But like the newer cards, like with Roar not only helps to set him up on your crackback to like have a massive board wipe just for turn 3 kill like potential, and also to like neutralize and simplify game state, but like having Roar is ridiculous to be able to like to dump Oath and Tekken Oath and like set up your boards. Even like Sheller helps you to get to it, like to set up Oath and have a spell trap negation, to have like spell trap negates plus plus monster negates, which equates to Omni negations, and a ton of spot removal with Revolt and double Dragon Lords and all the Melffy cards, and like flat out just pop, bounce. It's really good. The only thing I felt the deck was lacking was actually spell trap negation, and testing with Roar, you realize just how good this card is, because like for one, Roar's an interruption. You dump a trap, you get another spot removal. This deck is like the king of spot removal. Not really, but this deck is up there. It's in the upper echelon of spot removal. But like teching in Roar so that you can utilize it to dump Oath on, like it just gives you so much mileage, so much value. It's so freaking good. We love this card, and you can also like literally just dump it off of Kit anyways, but like just the fact that there's more than just one way to get Oath engraved now is a really big deal. So the inboards are crazy, and going second, like if you can, like when you're playing through disruptions, if you can like prioritize keeping like a Karaz play or like any Tri-Brigade line, like one Tri-Brigade with enough cards engraved is literally game. It's literally an OTK. Like literally, like you can kill your opponent with just like a Karaz if playing through disruption. So like this deck can push through a lot, and like Tri-Brigade's really slept on. Nothing ever happened to it. It just the power creeping happened, but like it's still a really good deck. People just like there's a common like borderline, we can say it's a common cliche that like it's a good deck, it's just other decks do this better. Well, like, other decks don't do what Tri-Brigade does better. Tri-Brigade's a unique deck. It's just that there's better choices that have a higher reward and a lower risk, you know, sometimes. So, yeah, you guys, this is my profile. Let's get into it. We have 3 Obedience School. This is, like, the most broken starter in the whole deck. Being Beast Locked is, it's going to hurt because, like, you can't summon Omen. Oh, no, you can't summon Sheller. You know, you can't summon your King. And you can't make, like, what's it called? You can't make Oath or Appaloosa, but what you can do is you can make Melffys, all 3 of them, which are all pretty broken for your inboard. You still can resolve Farragut, and you can still resolve Bear Broom, which still gets you access to your Revolt. So like your inboard is still really, really strong. Like, it's really strong. Like, you can still have like a lot of interruptions. Like, and I mean a lot. Did I already say a lot? A lot of interruptions. So Obedience School is really not that bad. And this deck really does need more starters and more one card combos. Because like outside of Cat and Fractal, which this could be stopped by an Imperm and this could be hit by Ash. Like, how do you push through that? And like opening Obedience School plus Rescue Cat is way too much. If you open these two, it's game. It's like an FTK. It's way too much. It's too much. It's too much. You're guaranteed your offline. You're sheesh. And Rescue Cat's really, really good. It's next to Obedience School is the second best one card combo, and then like Tinky and Fractals are all like really, really good one card combos. As is Foolish Burial, but you skip a name for Foolish Burial, which kind of sucks. 1-for-1 is a starter and an extender at the same time. It's really good for extension. As you guys can see, we do not play Link Rebo, which only comes up literally off the 1-for-1. But like as an extender, I think it's better. As a starter, it doesn't do too much, but as an extender, it does a lot. Because like Link climbing with the Nerval after you get stopped on your normal summon is really good. So like these are all the starters. I do play one copy of Airborne Assault. It's a really good extender. It lets you push more going second. Like, because Bear Broom, typically you always grab Revolt, but like now, like when you're trying to finish breaking a board and like do like call in the cleanup crew and all the janitors come in from your extra deck and start working for you, like you start clapping some stuff up. Like you can grab Assault if you need to keep going, or you grab Roar to like finish cleaning up the board. Especially like when you're locked, and this is the other reason why these are good techs in this list, is because like Obedience School will beast lock you, and if you're going second and it resolves, you still need to break a board. Melffys are too reactive to do anything. Like Joyous is insane. Like these are all broken cards, by the way. These are all like custom cards, so to speak. And like Kalin Tosa is not one to return at all, and you can loop this card literally 3 times in one turn. But like your Tri-Brigade engine wants to be able to do stuff too, so like Assault lets you keep going. And oh god forbid, like its restriction, look it. You can't summon anything from your extra deck except Link monsters. Oh no, oh no, oh no. And then it's for the rest of the turn. Oh no, dang. So you mean I can't activate it at the end of my combo and not care about the lock? But like Roar is also really, really good. It's exceptional. It's phenomenal. And then we also have Showdown, which this deck does not have the best scrying game ever, but like incorporating the Melffys and Showdown gives you like infinite. You can go infinite. You're like you run out of gas when you run out of extra deck, but like you don't run out of extra deck anymore because of these. And like the Melffys ensure that you don't have to use your extra deck to trigger this, because like you feel like you break even with Showdown if you're constantly using Tri-Brigade cards to like trigger this to summon them. And trigger this to add your banished guys back, but the Melffys can just like freely extend to get Showdown to like keep putting back your Tri-Brigade, so you keep getting like gas and you just keep going infinite, which is really, really good. But that's the starters, 3 Fractals, so you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 starters in a 50 card deck. Pretty good, but you also just have also 2 card combinations that are like not all the 1 card starters that still can get you there. We only play 2 Kit and 2 Karaz and 2 Nerval. Like this variant, it's not like that these aren't good to draw. It's like going Kit into Almirage just feels really bad unless you have another name, which still feels really bad. And then like Karaz is normally a 3 of, but I traded out the 3rd Karaz actually for the 1-for-1, so that it's like you're still playing 3 Karaz pseudo because like they both have hand economy costs. But like 1-for-1 into Nerval is sometimes better than just Karaz pitching to summon. Because like you get Nerval, which is a name that can literally activate his effect and summon another one of your Tri-Beasts from your extra deck. But also at the same time, you can use him and that Tri-Beast. Like you can literally get hand trap turn 1 and then go 1-for-1 into Nerval. Nerval, summon out Bear Broom, and then take Nerval, or Nerval summon out Farragut if you have more hand more cards that you can make out of your hand, and then take him and her and go into like a Sheller, get his effect, grab yourself some follow up, or grab an extender to keep playing. and literally just like grab yourself a revolt or grab yourself an extender to keep playing. That's what I like about playing more of the Tri-Brigade cards, is like you're able to extend more than you ever have, and like that's this deck's biggest weakness, is it needs extenders. It's a really good deck, and it can't play through a lot of interruptions typically in the more conventional builds, like especially earlier on in its inception, simply because like your normal summon gets stopped and you have Kiraz and that gets stopped. So like this deck would like infamously lose to one Impermanence or one Veiler unless you had Kiraz. And if you had him and they had another hand trap, you literally lost, and then you were just like, please draw Revolt. So we used to play 3 Revolts and 3 Trap Tricks and like a lot of defensive cards and Solemn Strikes and stuff. And like the Tri-Brigade deck's just really good as a mid-range deck, but like I've developed it into more of a combo-centric deck. And then like for the Melffys, we have just 1 Caddy, 1 Penny, 1 Puppy, and then 1 Kalantosa. Kalantosa is too good to not play. It literally like bodies. Like if you go against a trap deck, you're gonna body them. Like you're literally gonna pop all their back rows before they can activate them. Puppy's really good. Like Puppy's pretty insane. Puppy also can like extend into even your Tri-Brigades if you just want more follow-up. If you feel like your opponent has not played through anything else and you just want to crack back, Puppy into any of your Tri-Brigades is really good. But like what makes Puppy broke is like Puppy goes into Kalantosa, and Kalantosa is pretty nice. Need I remind you, Kalantosa is really, really nice if you didn't already have access to it, and you can loot this like infinitely. Penny, you just search off of Caddy, and again, like with Caddy and Puppy specifically, because like these two targets are more to make the disruptions on your opponent's turn, like Penny into Mary Melffys to get the bounce, and then tag out into one of your boss monsters. And these are funny to call them boss monsters because they're so tiny, but like to tag out into one of these guys to like do more, like this can get triggered to negate something, but like, oh my goodness, my Alexa's talking to me. But then also like tagging in the Joyous and then going like Joyous into something else is crazy. But like Caddy can just add one of these guys, which is broken, and Puppy can just summon one of these guys if you don't need to get more disruptions. But like I recommend minimum going into Piney. Like Piney is just broken because of the nature of like how many times you can like successfully loop this card. It's warranted that you can play more synchros. You can play any synchro. This is a level 2 tuner. You can play any even level synchro. You can play synchro 10s, you can play synchro 6s, you can play synchro 8s, you can make Savage, you can make Baron. You know, you could do a lot, but like turn 1, it's extremely hard to get it. So on the crackback, the fact that you can make a Baron doesn't mean that this warrants playing Baron, because like if you've made it to turn 3, you don't even need Baron anyways. That means you're already like successfully stopped your opponent from playing, so you can just kill them. Now that's all the engine. For non-engine, we play 3 Fenrir. I love this card, and it helps like again against like back rows and floodgates, and it's just really, really strong. It's really, really powerful. We have 3 Nibs, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Imperm, and 1 Crow. I like Crow because it's also better coverage. Like that's the other cool thing with this deck is like you get to search so much cards that don't lose to board wipes and like don't lose to Dark Roller or Droplets, and like in general, like just Appaloosa and also Double Dragon Lords is enough for your opponent to say I need to Droplets this because I can't attack over the 3 mat Oppo because Double Dragon Lords will bounce it. So like you have 3 monster negates that are going to guaranteed go through, and then you have Double Dragon Lords, which is just broken. So like this can get Droplets, and you can still have like Revo, Crow, Roar, the Melffy stuff, like literally just chilling, and like literally in your hand. It's so crazy. Like it's so crazy how much this deck can play through, play into, and how well stabilized the board is, and how diverse your interruptions. You have interactions that come from the hand, that come from the grave, and the field, which is beautiful because it's like the Tearlament Wet Dream. But yeah, you also have hand traps that don't lose to board wipes. So it's ridiculous. And Crow is searchable because you can literally just search it off of Omen, and Crow does beat a lot of decks. Like if you have Crow added to your inboard, it's like pretty much Unchained is just not going to win. They're just not. Like a lot of decks can play through Crow, but like Crow plus everything else is kind of insane. It's kind of broken. This deck's kind of not okay. This deck's kind of not just a rogue deck. This kind of is a good deck. I'm not saying it's the deck is broken, but like the stuff it can do is pretty broken, and the inboards are pretty crazy. If the deck could do this every single duel, in a 12-round tournament, I could see this easily being a tier 2 deck, tier 1.5. We also have 3 thrust and talents. So thrust is pretty decent going first as well, because like if you get hand trapped, you can still go into your revolt. You can still set your revolt. You can also just like thrust into your like your imperm. So it's like not terrible going first. But like where thrust really shines is as a going second card, because you can thrust into these, like an obedient school, thrust into a 1-for-1. Because like Fractal tailors thrust so well, like a fine. It's just like a fine wine pairing. Because like Fractal never resolves. Like if your opponent has a means to stop Fractal, you're gonna Fractal. They're gonna stop you, and you could thrust to obedient school because you still have no monsters, which is broken. You can also thrust into foolish or 1-for-1. You can also thrust into talents, which is really, really good. Really, 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 really good. So I like thrust a lot. Like as a going first card, it doesn't have that many applications that say like this card is just broke. But like you can still thrust into revolt. I wouldn't say that like Oath is like insane, really, like as a thrust target. But like it is a pretty decent like follow-up card as well. But I still think that thrust is good enough to play in the deck. Because more specifically, thrust for any of these 5 extenders is just too good. It literally like bodies people going second. Like thrust is insane in this deck because of these 5 cards. It's too good. And going first, like if you get hand trapped and you can thrust for revolt, that means now your Bear Broom can search your Roar. It can get you Showdown. It can get you Assault. You know what I mean? Like you can do more now. So thrust is not bad. Like, and I think the justification to kind of point out all of the valid interactions for why this card's here is a good reason, because some people just throw thrust into their deck with like with no thoughts on how like contentious it can be, and without really considering like what exactly does this offer other than just being the card itself. Like what am I playing that's not talents, and how is this going to benefit me going first? Because if it doesn't benefit you going first at all, then you shouldn't main deck it. You should only put it in your side deck when you know you're going second. But because it can work in this deck functionally well going first, it's a valid 3 of. And then we have talent, and like this is kind of like a Dookie going second card, because like you have to be able to play for it to be live, but it is still going second card. So you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 23 non-engine slash engine going second cards. And then these are 4 cards you just never want to. Well, you actually don't mind drawing this, even going second. But like this card is pretty nice. You get so much plus off of this. Like Showdown is a really underrated card. So I'll read to you guys, because nobody, not a single Tri-Brigade player plays this that I know. So whenever you summon one of your Tri-Beasts, you can target one of your banished Tri-Brigade monsters, add it to your hand. So because it's added to your hand, you can recycle your extra deck, which is broke. But you can also just like go infinite with this card. And then also, if your Tri-Brigade monster battles an opponent's monster, you can return the opponent's monsters to the hand. So this indirectly is a going second card as well, because you could just like normal Fractal and then attack Dragoon, and then you bounce them. You can normal Fractal and like attack anything that can be targeted or destroyed by card effects and just bounce it, because this doesn't target or destroy. And it also insulates your inboard more, because like now if your opponent tries to attack your cards, they have to clear this card before they clear the rest of your board, because like they can deal with your board, but like when you summon an Omen and get insane follow-up and get to clear one of their cards, the Omen has to be dealt with. And if they clear him by card effect and he goes to grave, you get more follow-up. But if they just have something that can beat over him, they have to kill this card first. Otherwise, the other thing is like this card is just so crazy with Revolt. Like the follow-up you get off Revolt and Showdown is just too much. It's too much. But also like the fact that if they battle this, he's literally just gonna get the card they're using is just gonna get bounced. So I think this card is inherently good, and it's super subtle, and it's one of those like looming threats that is just unseen. It looks underwhelming on pen and paper, but it actually adds so much layers to everything this deck wants to do and can do, and does things the deck naturally does not do very well. So it really does like just gain so much mileage so quickly, and you get like a +1 every turn, so your hand gets really loaded with so much follow-up, and you get so much fodder, because like you infinitely recur the guys that make these guys, and you can infinitely recur these guys so that these guys can keep making them. So I think this deck's really well made. I think I really did it again. Thank you so much, Jesus. Extra deck, 2 Farragut, 2 Bear Broom. I like 2. I really like 2. I like 2 a lot. This card's really, really good. The other thing is, like, if you're willing to risk, like, playing into more hand traps harder, like, Fractal is a really nutty 1-card combo. Also, because Bear Bloom has its secret technique to bring back one of your banished Tri-Beasts. And this also includes your Melffys. So this card is actually really, really, really broken. Like, really broken. Like, really broken. Like, literally, I do play the... Like, if I get as far to make Bear Bloom, I know even if I get nibbed, I get Revolt. So I use Bear Bloom every time I have cards. Unless I have hand traps. And I'd rather just, like, keep the hand traps to diversify my inboard. And just do, like, a simple board. Because even just, like, Appaloosa, Revolt, Double Dragon Lords, plus 2 hand traps, or even an Ash, and the Searched Crow that you literally search on your first turn. Like, you literally search this on your first turn. I think that's good enough. But anyways, yeah, Bear Bloom's broken. Shell is pretty nice as well. It also helps to, like, set up your Oath if your hand was pretty awkward. But it's pretty easy to get, like, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, like, pretty easy. Like, it really is. It's so easy to set up Oath. But, like, this card also is, like, underrated in the grind. We have 2 Omen. This card was the king until we got Bukafaris. This card is just absolutely absurd. It's so crazy how cracked it is. Mirage, because you will have hands where, like, you need your Nerval and your Kit to do stuff by themselves, and it is awkward to play, like, because, you know, you have so much more gas, but, like, when it comes up and you don't have this card, it really sucks to suck. Double Dragon Lords, Appaloosa, always a part of your inboard. Access code, literally, like, every line going first or second can make this card off of 1 card. And then the Melffys. The Melffys! I love them. They're so cool. They're so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't let your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. Have a beautiful day and be safe. Peace.